Hi, this is Tom George with Koodums AI, and in this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about how you can make a great first impression with just 2, maybe 3 very minor additions to your chatbot. So hold on to your hats, stay tuned, and we'll get started in a minute. And of course, to do that, the first thing we need to do is what we always do first, is to log in to the platform. And once we get to the platform's homepage, that is the Koodums AI platform, we click on Agents. These agents are the bot files that we've been working on. And the one that we're focusing on, the Leadership Passport file, is this one. So we're going to open that up, and that should look pretty familiar now. There's the bot itself, Leadership Passport. And you can see there's the agent name that corresponds with the name on the bot. And the fact that the agent type we chose is a combination agent because it uses a combination of file formats. And we've talked about that. And I promised I would show you in passing just how many more files I've added. So if you recall in the first video, the only file that we created was the file that was generated from scanning my wife's website, the Leadership Passport website. Then in the second video, we added 3 more, these 3 here. And since then, look how many more I've added. And every time I've added a file, the chatbot has gotten that much smarter. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. We just have a pretty smart chatbot at this point. But let's go back because our purpose today is to make a good first impression. And so when I look at this, as I said, it looks pretty good, but it's boring, it's bland. And my wife's company caters to mid-level and C-level executives. And so I want to give this site a touch of class, that is this bot, a touch of class. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to rename it. So before I said we were going to do 2 or 3 small changes, we're definitely going to do 3. Because I want to change the name. I wasn't going to before, but I think that's important. So instead of Leadership Passport here, Leadership Passport, I want it to be LP Concierge. LP for Leadership Passport, Concierge. Just has a classier ring to it. So to do that, I've got to go up to Edit. And now we are in edit mode. There's that same field, Leadership Passport. So I highlight that, and I'm going to change that to LP Concierge. All right. Now that I've done that, because we are in edit mode, we always have to remember to save. So we go down here, and I click Save. So look how quickly that was done. I have already made the first of 3 minor changes to give this chatbot a touch of class. And so now look, the title is LP Concierge. But we're not done yet. Let's keep going. So again, this is an existing file, so to make any changes, we have to use the edit button to put it in edit mode. Alrighty. So now, this is what you just saw. That was the general screen. But now we want to customize this bot. And so we have to go to the customization section of the editing function. So I click on that, and you see a number of things here. One thing that might be familiar is the prompt that we've talked about, where I said always speak in the third person. Well, we're going to change that, but in the future, not in this video. So we keep going, and we see the 2 fields that I am most interested, in fact, I'm only interested in these fields for this video, and that is 2 first. The first phrase and the first image. The first phrase is, again, how you speak, what you say to the person when you first meet them. That is, in our case, what the visitor to my wife's website is going to see or read when they first see this chatbot. Also, the image. Are they going to see something else? Most chatbots, you may have noticed, usually have some sort of icon on them, something to represent it. that usually looks like the head of a 1950s style robot, but not always. For instance, if you look down here in the corner, right here with the little cat, that's the Koodums cat. And that's what Koodums has chosen to use. And I think it's kind of cool. If I click on it, what do you get? The Koodums chatbot. So we're going to have our bot for the leadership concierge. But before I do that, let's start with the first phrase. So to save time, I have another file open where I'm going to copy and paste that phrase. And so bear with me. Alrighty. So here is our first phrase. And so what you see is, welcome to Leadership Passport. I'm your virtual concierge, here to guide you through our resources and connect you with the right solutions. I can do this, that, and the other thing, and I will share that with you when we get to the end of this video, or at least toward the end. But guess what? We've done two things now. Very quick, very easy. Now let's do the last thing. So the first image, we want to add an image. It's not going to be the Koodums cat. It's going to be the LP concierge himself, a robotic concierge. So we open the gallery. The gallery of what? The gallery of images. So if you really don't care what image you have, you just want something, here are some that you can use. But I'm not interested in using those, and fortunately I don't have to use those. So I go up here and I can choose a file that I've already created. Now that field may look familiar because we have a field that we use kind of like that when we add documents of a variety of file formats, which I talked about in the last video. But this time, instead of a file format as a source file for the bot, we're going to look for an image that represents the bot. So I just click on that, and it takes me to the folder where I have been playing around and making different types of bots. So this first bot here, you probably can't see it too well, but he just looked too 50s robotist, and he didn't remind me of a concierge at all, so I let him go. This one looked a little better, but he looks more like a bellhop than a concierge. But this one, I just moved the sign down a little bit more, and the same here, maybe just slightly more. This looks more like a robotic concierge. So I have chosen this one. I'm going to click on it. And now he is loaded here. All I have to say is upload, very similar to when we upload documents. Say upload, and it's successfully loaded. And in a second, we're going to see the image itself. There he is. Now the only thing left to do is click on him. Boom. If you see him here, that means he's going to show up in the chatbot itself. Now again, we are editing. We have to, any changes we make when we edit, we have to scroll down, of course, and we save. Now that we've saved it, drum roll please, let's scroll up and see if this turned out the way we want it to. I see good signs here. And then I'm going to scroll up in the bot. Oh yes, look at that, folks. We have a new image. We've made a great first impression. First of all, we have LP Concierge right there on the title instead of Leadership Passport. We have our concierge there, and he's saying something to us. What is he saying? He's saying, again, as I started to read earlier, welcome to Leadership Passport. I'm your virtual concierge, here to guide you through our resources and connect you with the right solutions. I can answer questions about our services, programs, and events. I can connect you with Dr. George or assist with scheduling a consultation. So let's get started. What would you like to explore first? I think that makes a nice impression. And so all of the capabilities that we've already built into this chatbot are there, but we put a nice face on it. We dressed it up, and we've added a touch of class. So again, it wasn't hard at all, was it? Just 3 minor tweaks give us a touch of class. Well, that's all I have for now, but please join me in my next video where I'll share a few more neat little things we can do to make our chatbot even better. So until then, this is Tom George with Koodums AI, signing off.